As free of wrong. My sword is sharp, my shield unbound, my pride will waver not. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. If I should fall and walk no more, I shall not shed a tear. But war is cruel, my comrades die, and I go on alone. I will not stop to ask them why. I know I can't go home. I face my foe, I lay them low, I fight them without fear. If I should fall and walk no more, I shall not shed a tear. My back is broke, my armor's rent, my blood is on the field. My sword is gone, my body's spent, I lie upon my shield. I faced my foe, they laid me low, but I go with a smile. The labyrinth, it calls to me. I'll wander it a while. The labyrinth, it calls to me. I'll wander.
There we go. There we go. Hello, everybody. How are we all doing in the world of chat? Are we all good? Are we all having a wonderful time? Empty Goose. There you are. There you are. How are you doing, buddy? Are you good? Did you get home okay? So I went and saw the Longest Johns in Bristol, and I'm stood next to quite a famous YouTube streamer, and he came running over to talk to me, not him. It made my day. It really did make my day, but it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Yeah, I was good, mate. I got home about 3 o'clock. Nearly fell asleep on the train. I didn't do a Bolam though, and wake up just before my my train thing as well. Because if I'd missed my train, I would have ended up in Brighton, which is like another 3 hours across the coast. It would have been bad. It would have been bad. So, but yeah. So, thank you for the bits there, buddy. Thank you, Tiny. So we were just meeting.
We're just using
I'm
around,
going to
talking
probably
about
pronounce your
stuff.
name wrong a million times. I've been referring to you as Kaza.
Kaza, yeah.
Kaza.
It's short for cause a lot of trouble. I'm kidding, I don't, but
See,
it's
that
how
would have
I
been a much better title for the stream.
get.
I was there trying to think of a play on words for Kaza, and no. See, and there it is, straight off the bat.
I've got it, yeah.
Jesus. So we were chatting about the streams and everything like that, and orc named Kaza. Yes, thank you, John. There's an orc song at Larp called Orc Named Kaza.
Oh my goodness, no way! I need to hear the song.
No, you really don't.
Okay, maybe I don't.
It's a very rude song.
Oh.
But yeah,
I'm in the mood for a rude tune. I want to hear it.
But we were talking about things and stuff like that, and I was just saying that when I started doing this, so I'll carry on. So when I started doing this, the channel and the streaming and things, and I was looking at other content creators, because I watched hat films on YouTube. That's pretty much all I did, and everything else I just didn't really pay any attention to. So then I started looking at content creators, and then I came across yourself, and I came across Momo, and I saw that, and that photo I saw from that, it was just sort of like, looked really serious, but you look like you're having a lot of fun and you were enjoying what you're doing. So you can sort of tell from the looks of people where they're happy in what they're doing, and that's one of the pictures that's always stuck with me about LARP. So as soon as getting you on here, sort of like, yeah, had to use that photo. Easy choice. So
that photo has so much mischief behind it as well.
Yeah. What LARP was that at? Was it?
That was for The Haunting of Grey Manor, which is a Reverie Studios production, and it was so fun. It was just like a haunted mansion, and we were all trying to like break free of it. But that picture is actually for the video that I'm working on. So I go to LARP events and I film my experience there, and more so recently I've been turning them into films. And so I'm working on a film right now for The Haunting of Grey Manor, and that photo is for the final scene. So it's got a lot of goosebumps comes from that experience, or
That's
from that one
fantastic.
photo. Yeah.
I can't really talk about the filming that I've done because I'm editing it at the moment. I hate editing. I'm terrible at it.
It's
I
hard.
don't have the patience for it.
Yeah, I
And
feel that.
and a friend Bethany, while she was filming, she filmed me go up to a friend of mine, Kit, while he had his back to me, and literally grab his bum. That was that was what she like. What did I film there, Steve? It's like, you don't need to know. But
Oh
yeah, so
goodness.
that's my sort of content.
Why
Not that,
not, you know?
but yeah, it's been great. So thank you so much for agreeing to come on. I didn't bribe you with raids or anything at all. It was just such a horrible person. Blackmail, yes, that's what she filmed, John. Thank you. She did film blackmail of me.
Yes.
But yeah, I've been like waiting for like them. I don't like messaging people out of the blue just to say, oh,
Mhm.
come and do this. I've never liked doing it or been comfortable doing it. So getting the chance to raid you on Twitch was absolutely brilliant. So
Yeah.
so yeah, actually being able to get you on now is kind of, it's like, yeah, that's one off the list for me, I think.
Oh,
So
that's well,
it's
thank you so much. I know I'm so sorry to cut you off, but I really just want to comment on the fact that you and just how kind you were coming into the chat really just encouraged me to have this conversation with you. And I really just liked organically how we just seemed to get along, and you seemed like a cool person. And everybody that has been in the chat that you've brought with those raids, they have been wonderful. I
mm,
don't know everyone by name yet, but the questions about LARP, that has been so wonderful because
yeah.
you know, how often do we just get to sit around and talk about LARP these days, you know, with our friends? So it was really nice. So thank you.
For me, about twice a week.
Nice. Nice.
So, but
Not
yeah,
enough. Not
John, go
enough.
back and clip that bit. I'm a nice person. Um, but no, it's been fantastic to get back to doing this whole thing and actually being able
Hmm.
to talk about events again. So, because have any LARPs actually been? I mean, obviously you did the goat LARP.
Hmm. Oh,
Um,
that was a while ago. Goat LARP was back in 2019.
was it? Ah, that's
Yeah.
because that's only just come out, hasn't it? The
Yeah.
video of that.
Momo's video for that came out pretty not too long ago, and I just absolutely love it. Gosh, Goat LARP was a good time, and that happened here in Connecticut, in my home, in the state that I live in. But that was 2019. Since then, since the pandemic, I went to the Haunting of Grey Manor
Mm.
last October, and let's see. I'm trying to think. Was there any other events I went to? No. But I'm starting this summer, I'll be doing Starfall Academy, so I'm looking forward to that. And I think this summer is the start to see a little bit of trickles of LARP again. And I think also local to this area, there was a Hobbit LARP that happened. One of my friends ran like a little the Shiretown Shindig.
The
So
Shiretown
that was really
Shindig.
cool. I didn't get to go
That's
though.
fantastic.
I had another event that weekend. Oh,
That
I,
sounds awesome because we had the second breakfast over
oh my
here
goodness. But I
on Larp.
know someone who ran second or who was a part of second breakfast, and I was so envious that you guys did it. It looked so good.
Was it Abby by any chance?
No, Abby, Kate. No, okay,
No,
never
don't know.
mind
No,
then.
Abby is the Hefty fam's own resident hobbit.
Oh my
So
goodness.
she is full of so much energy.
Hmm.
She has energy for days, absolute energy for days, and she's an amazing. And I've never met anyone who has that much energy, and then when going, oh, I'm tired, and then starts dancing, and it's just like that. And she's like 5'2" as well.
Oh
She
my
is
God. Well,
she spot
I
on
want to know
hobbit.
Abby. This sounds like the person to be hanging out with, and I'm 5 foot, so I think we would probably
You're
get
five
on
foot.
well. Yes, just 5 foot.
I
Not even gonna
thought I
pretend
thought
anymore.
you
I
would
used
be
to.
at least like 5'10". Well, you in
No,
your pictures then and stuff, you carry yourself very tall.
I do. I if you see a picture of me next to Momo, she's like 5'6",
Oh
and
God,
she's
you're all
definitely,
tiny.
but she's a lot taller than me.
Well, it sounds
Yeah,
like everybody's taller than you.
pretty much everyone is. But different perspective, and it means that I'm harder
It's called
to
acting.
like get on the battlefield. When I'm out there with a pole arm,
Mm.
hiding behind a tower shield, like good luck getting me, you know?
How tall is Steve by comparison? I'm 5'11".
Ooh, very
So,
nice. Yeah,
but
so you bring up the tower shield, and I'll come up with my pole arm.
no, Tiny, you are not the tiniest. You are not the tiniest. We'll have to introduce if when you come to Empire, we'll have to introduce you to Justin and Smith. 'Cause Smith is 6'6",
Okay.
and Justin is 6'8".
And then we can have a real laugh about hobbits and elves, and it'll look good.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
but
I have a little bit of a funny story about my hobbit life. May I share it with you?
Go for it. We love tangents on this channel. We
Okay.
we actually have the tangent train emote.
Okay. Well,
So
I'm about to
go for it.
go down one. It's just a cute little memory. I have always kind of been compared to a hobbit my whole life.
Mm.
And once upon a time, while I was working, my grandparents came to pick me up from work, and they are the same height as me. And so it was my grandfather, my grandmother, and my dad. We're all within 5'3", 5 foot. And the person who I was working with was 6'6", and he just looked at us all and said, "Oh my goodness, it's a little hobbit of, or a little family of hobbits." And my grandfather had never heard that before. He started cracking up laughing. And so now every time like we get together, he wants to know what fantasy creature am I? What fantasy creature am I? I'm like, Pap, you're a hobbit. And
Hobbit.
it's true though. We eat like hobbits, we sing and dance and run around like hobbits. There's a farmhouse somewhere, little hobbit family.
That's
So that's a little bit
fantastic.
about me. I thought that's a little like, to those who don't know who Kaza is, I am short, always thinking about food, and ready to dance. So I think me and Abby would get along well. So
I
I
I
would love.
I 100%, massively so, massively so. I don't know. She tends to pop into the chat and for a little bit and say hi. So I
Oh,
will
excellent.
I I will tell her as soon as she comes in and says hi. But yeah, I do love a good LARP story. I love stories.
Hmm.
We
Hmm.
like. I think we were doing a review of the last Empire event with Digby, who's a friend of mine, and we did an hour and 45. We didn't really cover too much. It was just stories. We were just telling
Oh,
stories. This is what we got up to. This is the trouble we're in, and everything. So, but it's a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. So I have to ask, where did LARP start for you? Where did it
For
all?
me.
Yeah, where did it? What was the first thing, or what was it that got you involved in doing it?
Um, so let's see. Well, that's a big question, and recently gone through my therapy journey, have been kind of like unpacking that a little bit too, and just kind of it's pretty deep. So I hope you're ready for it.
Go for it.
Um, well, so I kind of grew up on my own a little bit. My mom wasn't around, and I lived in a state where I was really far away from the rest of my family, and
Mm.
did a lot of reading like manga, watching anime, and playing video games. I didn't learn how to read till fifth grade, and so I've always struggled with that. But I really just loved stories and storytelling and being a part of it. And one day while I was playing Kingdom Hearts, decided I no longer wanted to just pretend to wield a blade. I wanted to one day be a keyblade warrior. And then that started just the deep dive down. Oh, what's LARP? And I used to walk by these LARPers who were doing like combat training every Saturday, and just wish I could participate with them. And then finally, oh, when I was like 14, I had like built up the courage to like ask to join, and did the combat training, and kind of fell off of that. But it wasn't until I was 18 that I started helping organize LARPs, attending like a wide variety of them,
Yeah.
learning about them. But yeah, it came from a place where I wanted to. I honestly didn't feel too good about myself as a kid. I was very lonely, and I wanted to make friends, and I was moved around a lot.
Yeah.
And I saw that LARP had the possibility for me to be able to hone skills, to learn how to wield a sword, to learn how to lead an army. And I was really interested in that. And the interest just grew. And I have to say, like, the things that I have learned about myself through LARP, I'm learning a lot in therapy right now, um, but I've just been able to discover things about myself through LARP, and it's
Mm.
just been a really fun journey. So yeah, that's how I got into
That's
LARP.
fantastic. I
Yeah,
think.
how about you? I don't know your story. How did you get into LARP?
Ah, well, I suppose technically, for me, I was about 20, so about 20 years ago.
Mhm.
So yeah, early 20s, and I went off to play Vampire the Masquerade LARP
Ooh,
in
very nice.
Southampton. So played a soccer hooligan. See, I remembered this time, soccer hooligan. Um,
Nice.
and basically just caused a lot of trouble. It was great fun,
Hmm.
but that was the start of it for me. Um, hey, Jasper, good to
Hey,
see you.
Jasper. Oh, my heart for Jasper.
Oh,
Oh, that's so cool. I love that you got your start in Vampire the Masquerade, because I
mm.
also have a Vampire the Masquerade character. She was a Toreador. I wonder if our characters would have collaborated.
Well, my current character is a Giovanni.
Mhm. Ooh, very fun.
Yeah, I love the Giovanni. They're my favorite. My
Hmm.
favorite family, I should say. But so that's where it all started for me. And then I played a few little local LARPs in Southampton,
Hmm.
um, and that was it really for a while. And then um, I got invited to go to a LARP called Maelstrom, which was had
Mm.
about 1,000 players or so,
Hmm.
1,500 players, and I went along there for a long weekend, and I absolutely hated it.
Mm.
Absolutely hated it. It was terrible. Not the game for me. Real high fantasy and
Mm.
everything, and I wasn't keen. And then they said, "Oh, come back, and we got Empire. This is a new one, which is low fantasy, so Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones." And I was just like, "Okay, that's more my style." And I went off and I joined the Navarre, so elves really. Even though I'm definitely a dwarf.
Hmm.
Um, and that was it really. So my LARP history was very much more social political LARPs more than the combat character I'm known for now. So, but and it was always very serious characters, and it was always those sorts of things, and yeah, that was about it really for me. But now it's, like I said, I now play someone who's generally on drugs and is a bit of a psychopath.
Oh,
So,
that's
but it's
that's a
great
good
fun.
flavor character. Yes, absolutely.
It's yeah, Mac is hilarious to be around, and he's met some wonderful people. So Tiny in chat, he's and Bolan as well. There's loads of good people there. And funny enough, just thinking about yeah, not much has changed. Cheers, Andy. Thank you, mate. So it's like, and Jasper is someone who I've spoken to them quite a lot, and I would love to get Jasper over to Empire. It's like that's like high on my list to get
Oh my
Jasper over
goodness.
for Empire.
If
Um,
Jasper goes, I'll go. I'll be there. Well, I'm already planning on going. So Jasper, you gotta hop on this train.
yes, yeah. We'll make a thing of it for Jasper. So if Jasper wants to go, then let us know when you're coming, and we can. I'm a lovable sociopath. Cheers, Tony. I think. I don't know how to say
Aw.
that one. I think yeah. So yeah, we'll do what we can then as a community to help Jasper come over because yeah, Jasper is like yourself, really wholesome and wonderful person, and I've got so much time for Jasper, really do. So there you go, Jasper. We'll look at getting you over. So the Hefty fam will look at getting you over here.
We're
There you
coming
go.
for you.
That's the next thing. I'll just have to say as well. So yeah, everyone in chat, yeah, we've got the thing going up. Look at that. We're at 500 quid now. That's how many tickets we've got for NHS workers. So well done, everybody. You're
Wow.
doing a wonderful job. Not far to go. And Matt Pennington is the man who runs Empire. Has said that he will put up open tickets for me to send over to all the NHS workers and that. So yeah, we'll get this sorted. Finally getting my life together. So Sunday would hopefully be sooner now. Excellent. Just let me know. So Steve surrounds himself by the loveliest sort of people. Well, everybody who's in chat is a lovely person.
I agree.
That's all I can
Definitely.
say. Apart from Tiny, I'm not. I'm on two minds with him at the moment. As a sociopath, of course, I'm two minds on that one. Naughty Tiny. Um, I've been looking into coming over from Canada for Empire soon, and it looks surprisingly easy. Hope it's the same from the US. Yep, really easy. It's just a case of finding a cheap flight.
Yes.
That's where the expense lies, and that's so. But yeah, so that was how I got started in LARP and everything, and it's all been a massive collection of stories and moments for the almost the 2 decades that I've been doing it now. So what's your would you say if you look back over your entire LARPing life, what is your highlight? What's the one moment or a few moments that you look back and go, oh, that's amazing. I if I could go back to that moment, I will.
Oh goodness. There's been a lot of those. There's been a lot of those because I kind of like at one point came up with a checklist, like I want to experience this, and then I went and
Okay.
started to pursue those experiences.
Mm.
For me, there was a really transformative experience that I had with my friends at Mark to LARP. This was back in, I want to say either 2019 or 2018.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm not sure if you know, are you familiar with Mark to LARP by chance? Did you hear about that one? No.
No.
It was like a academy school or an academy LARP that was superhumans, villains, X-Men Academy sort of
Okay.
LARP. Yeah. Sorry, it took me a while to like remember because it's been a while. And I ended up going there. It was in the UK, in the beautiful countryside, with like sheeps on the side of the hills and everything, in this beautiful castle. I'm a little bit of an aesthetic LARPer. I really love um, being immersed in an environment that I can
Mm.
like kind of see. A lot of. And so I really loved the space. But the thing that was super touching for me, and why I mention it as a highlight, and I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier in our conversation. I struggled with reading as a child, and my character
Mm.
that I was cast as they struggled with learning in their life as well. And they actually got their powers and abilities much later than the rest of their classmates. And the emotional role play of that was really interesting for me. So that's why I signed up for that character. And gave me the opportunity to really explore how I felt about that as a child, how I had grown up masking myself, how I had grown up just hiding so many parts of me. And so, as this character, I decided I was going to let it all come out. And I dressed up as like a hybrid of Shishomaru from Inuyasha and like my magical girl, like dream fantasy. And showed up as this character, played the most confident version of myself, and got to be in a rock band. And it was. The whole experience. I don't want to go on for too long about it, but this
No,
the
by
whole
all
thing
means, go for it.
it was really fun. We got to my friends Momo and Az were there, and they got to play some other like kind of like superhero characters, and um, we formed a band called Starbright, and we got to play in front of the whole school at the end of the Larp, and it was really cool. So that's one of my highlights. I have so many more, but like
Yeah.
that one because it's so it really started like my journey for learning more about myself. I had been using LARP to kind of like find tools that I to like about myself. Like, oh, I'll learn how to sword fight, and I'll like and I'll be tough, and I'll be cool at that. You know, as a child, I really struggled with my self image and like who I was, and then
Mm.
LARP just gave me a tool to just kind of like myself, I guess, and find things about myself that I loved. And
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just been so fun. So,
Yeah.
what about you? Do you have a big highlight?
I've got so many, like
You
yourself.
see?
Mark's just asked the question of.
A big warning, though. If you ask me a question, I'm going to throw it back at you.
Okay, I'll answer it, and then we'll get to Mark's question.
Hmm.
So I've got ones that stand out for
Hmm.
different reasons. So um, my first Empire character I got quite attached to. He was the general of their army, one of their armies. So when we go into battle, there's like 500 people walking in behind me.
Hmm.
I got very attached to him. His name was Cernunnos, and he was named after the Gaelic god of the dead. Um, and basically, he got framed for murder, and so he was asked not to come back from a battle. So it was strange knowing um, that this is my last fight as this character, and I really enjoyed it. And
Hmm.
then having the refs who are there for the battle say, we've asked some of the monster crew, like some of the like 400-500 of them, to stay behind and form a shield wall for you at the end. So we basically, I said I was down there with all of my friends and the army and stuff like that, and I was saying goodbye to everybody, and then I turned round and I remember running up towards this line of orcs, their shield wall, and hearing everybody behind me like chanting and singing and stuff like that. And then if it wasn't for the person paying attention, I mean, it adds a bit of a silly twist to it, but I tripped just before the line. And if the shield wall didn't step forward, I would have fallen flat on my face. But they stepped forward, so I fell into them instead. And then they sort of just surrounded me. And then they threw me back. And so I got to attend my own funeral as well. But it was a great death, and it was a
Yeah.
great moment. Very emotional bit of role play.
Wow.
And I stopped coming to LARP for a couple of events after that because I just didn't feel like I was ready to come back to it. It really hit me
Hmm.
hard. And then um, I can't read that. It's just flashed up with that. Sorry, Jamie, but that's awesome. Um,
Oh, no.
thank you for the 20 quid, mate. I really appreciate it. The 20 quid, mate. Oh, I really appreciate it. I need to mute my own stream there. I forgot I had that on. Done well. But thank you, mate. I really appreciate it. But yeah, that was my big moment, and it was, yeah, a really really emotional one. And I have to admit, I think as a younger role player, I didn't really look to get involved in a lot of things. It was just like
Hmm.
I wanted to be there. Just said Empire is great. It's fine, lovely. Thank you very much, Jamie. That's amazing. Um, so I avoided it. I got into fights and like, in character fights, and I did all of that sort of stuff because that's what I wanted to do. But Empire's really brought out a different side of it to me. So I've got my real life daughter. She'll be coming along to the next Empire to play my one of my in character daughters. Um,
So
uh,
beautiful.
well, you say that. There's a lot of story
I
here.
think,
There's a lot.
yeah.
There's so much story with regards to this. So I'm not going to go into it because I know that you're going to
Hmm.
come to Empire, and I know that we'll chat, and I know that you'll get to know my character because the 2 Feet are an amazing clan. To know they're
Hmm.
spread out across all of the nations of the Empire because basically, not to sugarcoat it, they put it about a bit.
Hmm.
Basically, so I've got kids all over the Empire, and and one of the members of the Hefty fam, she asked to play with my daughter, and it was like okay, but she didn't want to know that I was her dad until
Hmm.
we got in game, and she found a letter from me to her mum, and then came to find out what had gone on and who I was. So we had that role play as well. Never done that before. It was
Yeah.
intense. It was really good. It was really really good. Bethany, yeah, knocked it out of the park. She was fantastic. So I look forward to now introducing her to her in character sister.
Oh, that's so sweet. No, I think it's so beautiful that your daughter will be playing with you along at LARP. I think that's what has me like so teary, like wanting to be teary-eyed is that you'll be able
Yeah,
to share that experience.
yeah. Lily's, yeah, she's 13 going on 27, and
Yes.
she's
Haha.
vicious. We're just teaching her to use
Excellent.
weapons properly because at the moment she's stabbing with not stab safe weapons.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to teach her that. So it's very much a yeah. But yeah, I will. Oh yeah, but it's going to be good fun.
Oh, so
It's going to be
cool.
good fun.
Yeah.
So, but yeah. So right, Mark asked, are you planning on going to Drakenfest USA?
No, unfortunately, I won't be going to Drakenfest. Just wasn't in the cards for me this year, so I won't be there. But yeah, that's what a big event. I have a friend going. Piper, Burns will be there, and will
Mm.
be doing some sort of the storytelling there. So I'm excited to see hear about their experience when they come back.
Yeah, because they were part of the setup for it, weren't they?
I think I'm not sure how they've been helping, but I just know that they've been talking about their costume looks really great, and a big event like that, there's going to be some stories worth listening to, you know?
Oh yeah, oh yeah, definitely, definitely. Um, we've been talking about getting a group to go to Drakenfest in Germany.
Hmm.
I want to go to the one in America now. I want
Yeah,
to go to what's it called, Bickerline.
yeah.
Uh,
Those are great events. I have, you know, on the topic of Drakenfest, UK versus US, one of the conversations, or one of the points of this conversation that you've invited me to was
mm,
um, kind of to do the comparison. But I think one of the things Drakenfest, the Germany one and the US one, um, I don't think I will probably ever go to Drakenfest because of some of their policies around makeup. And for me, I think that some makeups create a space that are uninclusive for
yeah,
others to feel like they can participate and have voice and be able to tell their stories. Not the best person to talk about it, but that's the same for Beacoline. Beaco uses full face black makeup. They role play with drows,
yeah,
and their community isn't willing to
inclusive.
put forth efforts to take out
Yeah,
harmful material that excludes people. So those places were a lot of fun. Beagling was a lot of fun for me. 5 years of my life I spent at Beaco, trying to participate to change within, but that community is just so big and has been around for so long that it's really hard to change, if that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it leads on quite nicely because sorry, Larp, but yeah, Conquest is another one that I've
Oh,
really want to go,
conquest. Yeah.
really want to go to as well. I want to travel the world basically. There's
Yes.
ones in Japan who I've been talking to people about as well. There's
Hmm.
the Viking one in Sweden in a proper living history village that I want to go to. There's Concord in Australia that I really want to go to, which is based on Empire. So
Aw, that's
there's
cool.
so many all over the place. Um,
I'll check out Concord. That's so cool that it was inspired by Empire, or did they have like a
yeah,
did they work
load of
together?
people came over to Empire and played, and then they spoke to the people who run it, and now
Hmm.
they've done all this other stuff as well.
That's really cool. I
Yeah,
like
I
when we're able to like work together, you know?
yeah, I think with what you were saying about that, I seem to have developed a bit of a reputation. Um, I call out crap when I see it. Um, so there are some LARP makers of like weapons and armor and stuff like that. They refuse to work with me because I
Yeah.
say a chainmail bikini. That's not an armor. That's not armor for women. Sorry.
Hmm.
And but yeah, they refuse to accept it. But I don't really care. So I will call everything out. I, but LARP is meant to be inclusive. LARP.
Hmm.
I have met so many wonderful people who have had like confidence issues, anxiety issues, and things like that, and then they come along to LARPs and they feel that they can express themselves and they can do a lot more with it,
Hmm.
and they don't have to think about the little nagging voice at the back of their head and say, "Yeah, I can ignore that for a while now because I'm here," and it's a
Yeah.
wonderful, wonderful thing. But then you hear about LARPs around the world who are refusing to do things to include people in for any reason, just because they've got their echo chamber that they want to stick to.
Hmm.
I mean, I personally I'd happily go to them mainly just to call them out publicly because, because I'm quite bolshy like that, and what's the word? They can ask me to leave. That's it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
I
feel that.
yeah.
I have I think like I have spent a few years combating a few arguments about inclusion within the
Mm,
LARP community, and I will continue to do it for as long as leading allies are needed. You know what I mean?
yeah.
To but I just for a while I tried to work within the systems, like attend the events, but for me, I I lost so much heart in the face of opposition
Yeah.
because of being of somebody who speaks up against those things. It doesn't make you friends,
No.
and it kind of puts a target on your back. And specific in some events that I don't go to anymore, I was kind of chased away from because of being an opposing force to people who were afraid of change.
Mm,
And I don't know. I hope one day that we have a LARP community that is welcoming. So what I've been trying to focus on is instead of spending time in the spaces that need to be fixed, um, let them be obsolete. We'll just create new models and we'll create new LARPs. We'll create spaces that are inclusive. And through that, I have found that those spaces that continue to not prioritize inclusive policy, that they lose retention and they don't get people to join, and that
yeah.
it's the spaces that are new that focus on good energy, that more people join up for those. So
Yeah, I mean, Jamie has just said that Empire has become a big part of my life, and it's most definitely makes me feel better about myself. So I mean,
excellent.
that's wonderful. Tiny's just said, I've always found it amazing how at Empire it's so open and inclusive. Now people are able to drop real life issues and have fun, and the welfare team there is also so good. They've made it so it's a gender neutral world
Oh
as
wow.
well. So it covers literally everything. Empire, the whole team there have done such a good job
Mm-hmm.
at bringing everybody into it. So, and if anything ever does come up, if there is any sort of hatred or anything like that,
Mm-hmm.
then 9 times out of 10 they're just asked to leave. They had a trader who was asked to leave
Wow.
a few years back. So because of their anti-trans philosophy.
Oh,
So
that's
it's just
good.
sort of like, yeah, they were just asked to leave.
That makes me feel really good to hear because I think like no nonsense policy is just hands down how the best way to approach those situations. If it happens, out the door, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
Because we play with so many things at LARP, you know, like we're here to have a good time and we're here to enjoy a fun scene and experience something that in a safe environment that we would never experience elsewhere. But the same things that we can have fun with do have the same ability to hurt us as well. Particularly whenever you're talking about like LARPs that are like different types of fun, you know, not knowing what people want out of a LARP can also lead to um, yeah, harm or you know something like that. So I think it's interesting that if you don't put a stop to those people immediately, they have the potential to really cause a lot of harm in the community. Um,
yeah.
Instead of a macro situation, just expand. So yeah, I like to hear that the Empire has like a really a strong policy.
The great thing about Empire is that the players are generally the one to call it out immediately, and the people who run it are generally the
That's
last
good.
people to turn up on the scene, and all the players have just dealt with it, and
Yeah.
they either recant and they're just like, I'm sorry, I'll try to do best, they they're generally isolated because people don't want to role play with them and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
Red Mist there says, do you think it would help with self worth, LARP
Oh
in
yeah.
general?
Oh, I think for me it has. Yeah, absolutely. Oh goodness. I think like I had this moment. I'm gonna go on a try bring out the train, the trolley, you know. um, this is really a personal moment for me. When I was originally started LARPing and like as an adult and started designing and participating, I kind of fell in with kind of like I got a bad partner, basically. I think everyone's had like a bad relationship, but this person was particularly very harmful and abused me. And all of my self-worth that I had built up to that point totally went away with that relationship.
Mm,
And my character, I bled into my character. If I wasn't going to have a life, you know, that I could be happy about, I was going to bleed into my character and have some sort of life there. And
yeah.
it's kind of when I did that, though, I realized, oh my goodness, I'm so capable of doing things that maybe I shouldn't be in this relationship anymore. And I started leading as my character. My character became a leader. She ran her own army, and you know, like that's my favorite thing to go to, running my own army. Um, her own faction and made her own friends. And then I realized those people weren't just my character's friends; they started to becoming my friends, and they
Yeah.
started liking me. And then we started hanging out, and then I had a foundation of
Mm,
people to go to that got me out of that relationship. And it really built up my self-worth when
yeah.
I thought I didn't have any and continues to. And I continue to use some of that mentality of like, what's something in my life that either I'm not particularly happy about.
Mm,
And I put that into my character so that I can examine it and I look at it and think, um, what I'll do is if there's something like I'm really upset about the way Kaza handles her anger. Well, then my next character is going to be an angry character where I learn how to channel that for myself. And I don't know, but yeah, I think definitely, I think LARP can help you with your self-worth, but it is a process of how much you put into it and how much you're aware of it. Just like any other therapy, you just kind of have to not just trust the process, but be part of it. So
yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. It makes perfect sense. I think everybody who's watching, who's been LARPing and that will be able to come up with stories of
The takeaway.
this is where things have improved. This is where
Mm-hmm.
stuff has, everything's just improved for and stuff. And I mean, for me, when I came to Empire to start off with, I've been quite open about this. I wasn't in a good place.
Mm-hmm.
I was in a very bad, dark place. So like my last two partners they've been very, very abusive. So mentally and emotionally. And yeah, I was in a really bad place. And getting to know people at Empire especially. I came to an event after it became a really bad public breakup. But I can now look back at it and laugh because you just realise how dumb these things are. So I'll tell the funny stories so everyone can listen. So basically, my ex, she accused me of being gay, and so dumped me. And then 2 weeks later was with another bloke to cover herself, but she made me feel miserable about it. And I was just like, why not just tell me the truth? So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's horrible that people are out there to do that. So these are bad people
Mm-hmm.
to be around, and if you've got people like that who are around you, don't be around them. It's really simple.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really simple. It's really hard, but it's a great thing to do. And
Yeah.
maybe I consider a stream of mental health in Larp.
Oh yes.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm far from qualified, but if I know people who are qualified to talk about it, because it's great to talk about how mental health has affected us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not qualified to say how it will affect other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Um, it will be good to have someone there who is maybe a professional or knows about all these sorts of things, and then they can give a proper opinion of it. But
Mm-hmm.
I'm not qualified, and I want to. Everybody knows me. I want to help everybody on the planet if I can, through LARP, obviously. But it's I meant more as a you're not alone situation. But yes, a professional could be good too. Yeah, both,
Yeah.
both. Maybe lots of these things, sorts of things going on. But it's amazing how you get so many people from all LARPs across the world who have had some sort of issue go on in their personal life, and LARPs help them deal with it because it's an outlet.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very, very I can't think of the word, but it's an outlet where you can lean on all these other people you may not know, but then you get to know them. Because I've always said that you'll come to Empire with one or two friends, you'll go to LARP with one or two friends, you'll come out with 100 friends. So
Absolutely.
it's
Yeah. You get a whole newfound family.
yeah, yeah, and that's exactly it. And if it's, I mean, to finish the story is that the end of my story is that I met my current, well, now my now fiance at Empire, and we're getting married in, well, just over 6 months. So,
Congratulations. That's so exciting.
well, I'd
Are you
like
going to
to.
do it at Empire?
No, oh God, no,
Oh.
no. Um, if you ever want to interview a mental health professional who LARPs and used to do counselling for California's chapter of Dystopia Rising, I could talk to Adam Bruno. I had no idea.
Hmm.
I didn't. Yeah, no idea who that is. But yeah, I mean, I would happily. Can Tiny be the flower girl?
Aw.
No, we're all sorted, Jamie. Thank you. But yes, that's it. It all started with me offering to help carry bags. That's literally how it started.
And but hold on, what a beautiful so that's very beautiful. But then it's like one of my favorite things about LARPers sometimes is when you're carrying all your stuff back to the car, someone would be like, "Do you need a hand with that?" Because we all know we got to get off the campsite at a
Yeah,
certain time.
it's
Oh, that's so sweet. And how
yeah.
long have you guys been together?
Oh, that's the question. I let me just check chat. Is she watching? No, she's not watching. Good. Um, 5 years.
Wow, that's so
Yeah,
cool.
5 years now. And yeah, she's literally amazing. Yeah, I couldn't be happier, to be honest. She's a wonderful woman, and yeah, she's really supportive. So
Oh, that's so sweet.
so whereas like my ex, who was quite abusive, would give me grief every time I went off to LARP.
Hmm.
Um, Helen is very. I went off to the last event on my own without her, and she was
Hmm.
just like, "Oh, this is awesome. Just make sure you message me when you go to bed," and that was it.
Aw. And who does she play at the LARP
She
at Empire?
plays my. So in Wintermark, we have a hall. Our hall is Hurst Hall.
Hmm.
So the hierarchy is you have a Thane, you have a Steward, and
Hmm.
she plays our hall's Steward. So
That's
she's there to. She can technically boss me around, but I ignore her, and I
aw.
ignore our Thane. I ignore everybody. So, is she aware of all your icy kids? Yep, yep, well aware, well aware. So, she'll give me the abuse that I deserve at the event as well. Um, so thank you, Andy. That means a lot, mate. It means a lot. But yeah. So oh my god, I've thrown myself off this now. Yeah, I'm completely stuck.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's not very often I'm at a loss for words, but
Oh,
Helen,
well,
she's
I think that
definitely
just
someone
goes
who can
to,
do that. Don't ignore
yeah.
you. I'll have you know I'm dapper in a dress. Shut up, Tiny. Know your place. It's generally in the corner.
In the corner.
Ah, it's all
What
he
funny.
deserves. Oh dear. So what was it that made you want to get into to the whole Twitch side of things?
Oh,
And
so, that is a good question. What got me into Twitch? Well, so I do a lot of editing, really, and a lot of that time is me just alone editing my videos for my YouTube channel, and I was getting a little lonely doing that, to be honest with you.
mm,
And I wanted to create a space that if I was editing and working on a project, that if somebody had a question about LARP or just kind of had been floating around it, they could hop into chat and just ask a question. I just thought that having somebody with a LARP background around, like I have been that person where I have like Googled a space, like a location or an event, and just wish somebody was around to answer questions. And so I
yeah,
thought, why not just make myself accessible? I have quite some information about LARP, and I've always answered questions for people throughout my content creating career through
yeah,
email, my workspace on Discord and Patreon, like, and I just love it. I love answering questions about LARP and talking about like the theories of it and like the
mm,
different methods of like if we create this mechanic, what kind of storytelling does this amplify? I really love that, and yeah, so I thought I would go live, and then actually one of my other LARP friends invited me to a game, and then I started playing games on Twitch. But my friend, Darker LARPer Dan, they
mm,
were doing we were playing games every Monday night, and so I just started playing games as well. So I really I love doing the Twitch thing. It's lots of fun. I just love the connection. I love the part where you get to answer questions and hang out with people. And more so recently, I've been doing these promenades where on Fridays we go out and we hike one of the local hiking trails around here. And
mm,
I remember when I was working in an office, I just really, really badly wanted to be inside or outside, like enjoying the beautiful day.
yeah,
And I told myself, if I ever don't have a job, I am just going to go on Twitch and live stream my hikes. And so that's what I've been doing. And I love it. And I recently quit my job for mental health reasons. Just needed a break from. I used to work do social media for a news organization, and just wanted to enjoy life again. The news
Yeah,
is quite grim.
yeah. No, no.
So,
You need to be happy and comfortable in yourself,
mm-hmm.
don't you? So, Wunderkin, Kaz's energy and community is so soothing and welcoming and wonderful.
Oh, I love you, Wonderkin. Oh, Wonderkin, right back at you. You can't come in here and say that about me. You're talking about yourself. Wonderkin also does has a Twitch as well, and I've been
Huh?
watching they're a VTuber or what is it? It's a is that right? I
Yeah,
don't know. I'm just
VTuber.
new. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm new to it, so I'm just learning all the lingo.
I'm an old man. I know nothing about what I'm doing. It's taken me 2 years to get my audio set up right, and I think
Feel that.
John in chat he'll verify that one. It's always it's always the way of it, but it's a laugh. Cheers for subbing, Dan. 22 months. You're a nut bar. See, they sub, I insult them. It's how this
Aw.
works. Steve, can yeah. Oh god, it was a constant. Can you hear me?
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
dear.
I start that with every one of my streams still. I'm like, am I on? Are we here? Did I hit the button? You know?
They chat were talking at one point when it was going like this, just to say that they can't hear me even if they could hear me, or to pretend that they could hear me when they couldn't.
Oh no.
That's the
The
community.
trolls.
It's
Oh goodness.
great. It's great, and I wouldn't change them for the world. So Andy's asked a question here, and
Okay.
it's a good one. It's one that
Okay, and
I used to ask, but I haven't done these sorts of chats for a long time now.
hmm
So if you could go to a non-fantasy type LARP, what would you want to try? And it can't be goat LARP.
oh,
You
okay.
non-goat LARP.
Non-fantasy. Non-goat LARP. Non-fantasy, non-goat LARP. Oh man. Well there goes all my options. No. Non-fantasy. Oof. Okay. Hmm. Can I talk about one I already went to?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I did have a fantasy, like a non-fantasy life I really wanted to go to, but I don't know. Does science fiction count as fantasy? Now I don't know. I don't know. Okay, but non-fantasy LARP. I went to Outbound Hope. It was based off of like Battlestar Galactica, early colonial space exploration,
Yeah.
and I absolutely loved it. I played a member of the military. There were civilians on the ship, and we were just kind of on a vessel, lost in space, trying to find a planet to colonize, and it was a lot of fun. And I just loved it because we were inside um, an actual retired Navy vessel, and we got to sleep in the bunks and run around the ship. Some people had laser tag, and they were the Marines uh, fighting the issues that we came across. But that one was so wonderful, and just like non-fantasy, like when we remove like those magical elements, it's so easy sometimes. I forget, like when I'm at a LARP, it is sometimes easy to come up with a solution
Mm.
because it's fantasy, because magic works, and if I wave my wand, this will happen.
Yeah.
Um, but at a LARP where magic isn't real and isn't a part of the story, the mechanics are different, and the storytelling's different too. Like the whimsy doesn't exist, and so it kind of makes those uh, softer, more humbling
Mm.
moments just so much more vital in that experience. So I really loved it. Loved Outbound Hope. I made a video about that experience, and it's more of a film, so you can kind of watch it and just kind of see. We did a lot of player interviews for that one, and it just blew me away. I have this like this very unique perspective sometimes, and it's a blessing where I get to look at the LARP through the camera lens while I'm filming, and then I am also participating. So I'll get to be a part of the story, but then also get to document it and fall in love with people, how they're acting. And
Yeah.
I'm sure you understand, like when you see, when we play to uplift and you see your friend like get the crown put upon their head, and it just is such a humbling feeling. And so I'm just so lucky that I get to film these moments. And so I have a video up on my YouTube channel of Outbound Hope. We get to see a lot of players talk about their experience as they were having it. So it was really cool.
Yeah. It's one of the reasons why I love doing this because I like to
Hmm.
everyone has different ideas of what for them, what's been a great time for them
Mm-hmm.
as an individual, and it can be lots and lots of different reasons. So
Mm-hmm.
I've spoken to people who they love LARP, but not for the role play side of it. They love walking around in their kit, looking at
Yeah.
everyone else's kit, and just seeing what it's like, and that's their enjoyment. Other
Oh, I see. I
people,
love that too.
it's as Jamie says, it's yeah. Jamie LARPs because he loves to sell pies and make pies.
Ooh, I like to eat pies, so
There you go, Jamie. Another customer, mate.
I'll be your customer. Oh
So,
my goodness.
but
Yeah.
there's lots of stuff. Yeah, like walking around with a sword. All of that you get to. It's like for Empire, you get to be that big goddamn hero that you've
Mm-hmm.
always wanted to be, and it's fantastic. So it's like for me, I don't feel like I'm in character until I've put like my bit of my face paint on and my war paint on and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get my Irish accent going, and then that's when I'm in character, and then I get to act like a knob for 3 days essentially and get away with a load of stuff, and that's great.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like seeing what everyone else does and how they enjoy their role play. I love to people watch, so
Yeah.
I can just sit there and go, oh, you see them having their little moments over there, and it's just like, yeah, that's great to watch, and seeing how people deal with certain situations. So I was watching two people having a blistering row, and
Mm-hmm.
they were screaming at each other, and then someone came along to try to like is everything all right? And then they started screaming at him, and then he left, and then they went back to it, and then it finished where with her literally pulling out her axe, beating him up, and walking away. I was just like,
Yes.
it's like, oh, this is great. Oh, thanks for gifting us up, Jamie. That's awesome. That's
That's
fantastic.
definitely how you solve a LARP conflict too. You just bring out the axe.
Well, I mean, at Empire, it's actually it's assault. It's a crime. So they've got the militia there, so
Ooh.
you can get arrested. You can have a trial, pay fines, get executed. All of these sorts of stuff. Steve, you are my
Oh wow.
moments. Thank you, Tiny. That means a lot, mate. But
That's so,
there's
so cool. I do love LARPs that have laws in town because I've been
oh
to
yeah,
quite a few LARPs where they have them or they're not posted or the town guard isn't here so they don't enforce it. And I love a good law.
my stories always involve violence. Thank you, Gorka. Yeah, yeah. I do a lot of battles and fighting and skirmishes and stuff. Actually, and I just yeah, even in the field itself. So
Hmm.
it is a lot of fun to do. So yeah, big question. If money was no object, and
Yeah.
you could make a lark, a larp about
Hmm.
anything, what would it be?
Yes. My current dream is, oh gosh, this is it's a controversial one.
Go for it.
I would really like to do, um, oh gosh, like a Mascara LARP, from like Wonder Woman, Amazon's, Women and that They Only LARP experience.
Ah,
That would be, like on the beach, us doing like challenges and getting really beefy for the weekend.
yeah.
That would be my no money, like, but it would definitely be like a beach resort where we get like you said, no money. No money is a problem.
Yeah,
We'd have like facials and back massages, and then at dawn we would throw spears at the sun. That would be my
that
that would
sounds
be
awesome. That's
yeah, I
that
know,
that
right?
does sound really good. It's like, yeah, I could go. No, I can't go to that. Not allowed.
Well, maybe I don't know. That's why it's a little controversial, right? So then I think, and I
Yeah.
don't like to exclude people. So I don't
No,
know. I have seen people run spaces like that, and some places have run it where if you want to play femme representing or they, you can. But I don't know. I don't know how I would run it, but I just have the idea.
I think that is a great idea. I
Oh,
I
thank
I
you.
could really get behind that sort of idea because let's face it, LARP is very male dominated. So why not have a LARP where it's uh, for women only?
Yeah. I think it would,
Well, femme
I
presenting
think
only, I should say. Sorry.
exactly. And I think that in some spaces, um, only certain stories can be told. Yeah, no, not just only, but
Mm,
the freedom to be able to tell your story authentically. You can only say it in spaces where you're around your peers. And so I'm talking about like the woman's perspective, but there are other perspectives like that as well. And I've seen some cases where people have ran story and developed story and settings, had those be written by the people who they're most impacted by, and
yeah.
that's where it becomes so rich and diverse, and there's just so much to learn from. But I also think about this one, themysceric, hive mind idea is like, there's been a lot of LARPs that I've been to where some people have had the ability to be more savvy about martial arts, sword fighting, starting a fire. And because I was a woman, they believed me not to be able to do that. And my experience was changed because of that.
Mm,
And my self worth and just a lot of things in the head started, like, of course I can build a fire, And so now I can actually build a fire really well because of how many men have come up to me not believing in me. And so I think that if there was a LARP that was, them presenting or they, them, um, that it would be a place where maybe for the first time people could learn those skills and then they could go elsewhere and use them. I don't know. I just think there's so much beauty to be had by running sometimes exclusive experiences,
yeah.
um, because it gives people the opportunity to grow. I don't know, but I definitely, it's controversial for me. I'm still, wrestling over how I feel about it because I definitely believe in making spaces
Yeah.
accessible and for as many people as possible.
Yeah. Definitely. Um,
How about you?
Andy just
What's
said
yours?
an Amazon boot camp.
Yes, I would
Uh,
love it. I would love it so, so much. And we would paint each other in different paints, and it would be just, oh, it would be so wonderful.
yeah. Jenny said there was an Amazon's LARP in the UK, which was femme only. I believe
Oh,
very
wow.
successful. I didn't know that. There
That's
was
so cool.
a Dark Academia LARP a few years ago that was kind of that. I'll have to look into this because this is something that's quite interesting.
Hmm.
I would love to do. Wow. So I could. Yeah, well, no, I suppose I could do it and then just go
You
to a
could develop,
hotel.
you could also assist in developing it. And I mean,
Yeah.
the best thing that, like leading allies are what are important, and leading allies use um, their privilege and strengths and knowledge and makes it easier for other people to be able to do it as well. So I think if you know of someone who might be interested in running it, you just gotta work with people.
I know
Maybe the
loads.
experience is only for some people to experience,
Uh,
but you could definitely
it
help
was a
with it.
one-off. Well, it'd be good to see
Um,
something like that going, but probably do it in a warmer place.
yeah, and
In the
oh yeah,
UK.
the dream should be like at a resort, like on a beach.
Uh,
Um, but I've seen just like so many LARPs that are written for like different kind of experiences. Like, I mean, because really what that is it's a different
yeah,
experience.
yeah,
And it's just like the different types of fun, different kinds of genres, and really just like the more of them that there are, and the more different mechanics and different things that they do, we all benefit from it. So,
I think
I don't know.
it's. I mean, running it as like a Wonder Woman Amazonian type thing would be fantastic to see
I
because
love it.
I mean I like the Wonder Woman films. I
Yes.
didn't like the fact that they had to. I mean, get rid of what's his face, Chris Pine, out of it because they didn't need him.
No.
Then just leave the rest to it because he was the weak part of those films.
Wonder
That's for
Woman
me.
needs no male interest.
No,
Like we just want her to kick butt.
get her. Yeah, get Batman following her around like a lost puppy.
Yes.
That was pretty much
Well,
it. And Ben
that's
Affleck
my
pulls that look
OTP.
on his face really well. He looks
My
like a
Wonder
lost puppy
Woman,
anyway.
my Wonder Woman OTP has always been Batman. But I know Batman's OTP is Selena Kyle. I've been a huge fan of like DC comic books. Um, when I couldn't read, I would just look at comic books and imagine what they were, and that's what kind of encouraged me to read. So I'm a huge, like, I started out DC, then went to Marvel, switched back and forth, Dark Horse. But I'm really into manga. But anyway, whole other thing. But yeah, I super love Wonder Woman, and I would love to see a LARP like that. But do you have a LARP that you would be interested? Like,
See,
what?
yours,
No, money is not an issue.
yours is really interesting. And here's me thinking at mine and going, oh, mine sounds really dumb now.
Absolutely not. No, whatever it is, I imagine it would be so fun. Like,
Oh, I don't think it would be
there's so
fun.
many different
Mine
LARPs
would
out
be a
there.
horror, a
Ooh,
horror
that's good.
sci-fi one.
Oh,
So,
yeah. That's cool.
um, I would do an Aliens LARP. I am
Oh,
a
that's good.
I am a huge Aliens fan. Um, I absolutely love the world. I love everything about it, and um, Alien for me is my feel good film, which is weird. A lot of people think it's weird, but it's because I know how much love and care went into that film,
Yeah.
so I can watch it and it just cheers me up. So I would love that. So people playing. So you'd have a like the LV-46. So you'd be all on like this
Hmm.
one site, and you'd have all the NPCs in alien suits, and then people going around with like BB guns or something like that, and something like that.
That is so sick. I can imagine it being like in like some sort, like you would build some sort of like station, and you would lock people in isolation in different rooms and could have like the oh, that sounds so spooky, but I love it. That would be such a good time.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I just love the way it's. I mean, when I play tabletop games,
Hmm.
obviously I like with a Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf the Apocalypse and things like that. They were always my go-to, but I backed the Aliens tabletop game on Kickstarter,
Very cool.
so I got that and I played it. I did a couple of games on stream playing that, and that was really good fun. That was a lot of fun to play. The rules are really simple, and everybody dies really quickly. It's part of the fun. You're not playing. You don't play an Aliens campaign to play for. Right, I've played this game for 6 years now. You play an Aliens campaign to think, I've played this game for 2 sessions and I'm still alive, so I've done really, really well.
Ooh, very
So
cool. That sounds like
it's
a fun game.
it's really, really good. I
Yeah,
was going to
I'm
bring
looking
it
at it
up
right
at
now.
the end of the stream. I'm doing a charity tabletop stream.
Oh,
Where
that's so cool.
we're gonna raise money for the Teenage Cancer Trust.
Very
Because a member of my community, George, uh, absolute legend. He passed away, unfortunately, last year to cancer. So we did a walk. We climbed Mount Snowdon. Um, yeah, and we raised £1,800 for the charity, and it's not something I don't want to do something once for that charity. I want to do something every year for that charity. So seems like the perfect thing to do. So I'm going to put a thing out just to say to everybody, if you fancy playing, let us know, and I'll see how long I can keep a story going. And that's
That
so
is so cool.
I'll keep streaming until everyone's dead. So it could be a
Oh,
very long stream,
or quick.
or really really quick. Yeah, but I'm not crying.
Hopefully
You're
not.
crying. Thank
Hopefully
you,
not
Jamie.
quick.
But yeah, I'd love to do something like that because I think it could
Yeah.
be a lot of fun, get a lot of people involved, and yeah, it's all down to well the DM at the end of the day, or GM or ST, whatever you want to call them.
Hmm.
But yeah, but that would be my aliens would be my
So
world.
cool.
So
Yeah, that's a good one. I love sci-fi. Like sci-fi is like anytime. I'll be
yeah,
part of
what's your
any.
favorite?
Well, Battlestar. Battlestar was my favorite.
Okay,
And I loved it so so much. But then I do really love Star Wars and I really love Star Trek. Like it's really hard to get me out of sci-fi, but I fall off with the Warhammer though. I did play Warhammer for a little while, but I
Mm,
never got into like the lore or
no.
there's some more. There's more out there.
Oh
There are
yeah.
more sci-fi things out there. But those are the big three in my book.
Yeah, I
Mm.
did that. It's like Terminator would be a fun one to do as well.
Yes, yeah. Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Terminator could be a laugh. I played a lot of the Total War Warhammer games
Mm.
as well. They're a lot of fun as well. But I don't. Yeah, I mean, I tried. I mean, I think the only game I tend to stream is Sea of Thieves. Um,
Ooh, Sea of Thieves is a good one.
but yeah, it's like on my YouTube channel. My advert is everyone after a very successful lots of raids, and we've got a ship full of stuff. I'm only allowed to steer and shoot the cannon. That's all I'm allowed to do
Mhm.
because I'm just a mess otherwise. Um, and there was treasure in the water, and I went and shot some to bring it all on board, and I ended up bringing on some TNT.
Wow.
And so I
Oh
nearly
no.
sunk the ship with all of our treasure on it. And everyone's just there going, Steve, you had one job, mate. One
Did
job.
my job. Oh no.
Mike says,
So
honestly,
now you only steer.
yeah, just that's it. I'm not allowed to do anything anymore. I'm just an absolute mess. Um, Grimdark can be hit and miss for a lot of people, so that's fair. Mike says, honestly, I'd love to see a Jerry Anderson LARP of some variety. Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, Stingray. That could be fun.
Very interesting. I have to look that up. Is that
The puppets. So
Oh,
Thunderbirds,
that
yeah.
would be fun. Oh my goodness. That would be so, so fun.
Yes, no strings attached, but yeah, it could be that could be a lot of fun. That um, I'd love to play Lady Penelope. That's a LARP. Hmm. Yeah, it's at the Viking LARP that I was looking at going to in Sweden was um is very much it's a very much a Nordic LARP, so it's
Hmm.
pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
So if you had signed up to play a serf, so you
Hmm.
were a servant or something like that, then you were essentially playing that LARP on hard mode, and
Yep.
it was all
That sounds
about
right. Yeah.
the mixture of Christianity and asatru as well. So it's
Mm,
about how cultures come together and stuff like that. So
I
it
like
could
that.
be yeah.
Love a good Nordic experience, you know? They'll
Well,
throw
I
the hard
mean,
ones at you.
yeah. Thankfully, people who do Nordic LARPs now are changing a lot of the stuff they do.
Hmm.
So, and it's yeah, because I'm aware of Nordic LARPs where guys use it as an experience to try to essentially to harass women, and
I mean, well, you say Nordic LARP, but that's all LARP.
yeah,
That's not there is no LARP that is free of that.
yeah,
Um,
it's horrible. Yeah, it's just a
but
horrible
there's
thing,
no
isn't it?
space that's free of it either, is the sad thing. Is that you
No,
can't go like those people exist and they will use spaces where people with like good, honest intentions want to be because it's easy for them to prey. And but that's why we, the community, have to like look out for those, like to make sure those people are in our communities.
mm, uh,
I say that because you said Nordic and I was like, oh no no no, American LARP just is trickling with the traditional monthly campaign LARP is pretty much trickling with nothing but
mm.
practices that need to be updated as well as the people that are running them. Are they the right people to be running LARPs? You know?
Was that the last song when Steve had to sell my ticket? No, it wasn't called the last song. I can't remember the name of it. But yeah, I think it would be nice. I mean, I think this is why we're so lucky with Empire in it, and people
Yeah.
call it out. And I'd like to think. I mean, wow. So I know I would that if I caught or saw anybody doing anything untowards like
Hmm.
that, then I do. I've got a history of. I've had young ladies come up to me and say, "I'm being followed by someone. Can you walk me back to my tent?" And I've walked back to their tent, turned around, and there's some creep 15 feet away. And it's just like, yeah, I'm about to go and have a word with you now. And it's like, yeah, and I'll go up to them and I will call them out on that shit because I don't, yeah, it makes me quite annoyed. in the
Yeah.
worst possible way as well.
And as somebody who's not attended Empire yet and interested in participating, I think one of the things that's really helpful about cultivating that environment is like you see, I don't know how new this is, but I can tell as somebody, as an outsider, there's on their tab, there's four tabs on their website, and the third one is profound decisions. I hope decisions, yeah. And
Yeah,
it just talks about equality and diversity.
yeah.
It talks about the terms and conditions of the event, how to contact staff, like accessibility, and just I think that those having that stuff accessible, it tells you who the people are who are running it and what they're interested in
Yeah,
the community, and what they're interested in organizing.
yeah.
So,
PD who run Empire are amazing. I can't fault them at all
yeah.
in anything. They've grown with the community, and when people have asked for change and stuff, they've done it, and they got members of the community in to help them write their new rules and things like
Mhm.
that, and it's become it is so incredibly inclusive, which is fantastic. So,
Like even
um,
I'm reading this part right here about sexual harassment and seeing the part where they even go in to tell you about it, like sexual pranks, repeated teasing, jokes, innuendos, verbal abuse. There have been spaces that I've been at LARP events where, men's genitalia have been the flag, and that I had was asked to run out onto the field with that as my banner. And as exciting and fun that it was for somebody, it's not necessarily the story that I'm looking at playing. Um, but it's just kind of like it's nice to see that this environment so clearly that is not the space for it, and so
no.
I would feel very, um, I don't know, I'd feel good about this. Like these
Mm,
are all things that make me feel good about coming to the experience, is seeing, what the organizers say is a part of the
yeah,
community they wanna rear.
it's fantastic. It's
Yeah.
I mean, and then you throw on top of it the wiki, which is the size of like six
Hmm.
Bibles, and it
I
goes into
love
so
LARP
much
wikis.
depth about each nation, what they wear, colors, their costume, and everything like that as well. It's impossible to go wrong, really, as long as you pay attention to it, and then you turn up
Hmm.
I mean, even people who have turned up with nothing and have just like, but look, they've made the smallest bit of effort because that's
Hmm.
all they can afford to do. PD have actually said they've made an effort. So you do not criticize their kit whatsoever. I don't. It's like they turned up in like my first LARP event at Empire. I turned up in a pair of joggers and a polo
Aw.
shirt that I had cut
Yeah.
the collar off. I cut the logo off of and then stitched up. That was my first LARP kit,
Nice.
and no one said anything to me. So in fact, a load of people
Oh,
got
good.
together, and because they knew I was struggling, I was technically homeless, and it was a
Hmm.
bad place. And they went out and all clubbed together and bought me some LARP kit, and it all got delivered.
So
And yeah,
sweet.
it was wonderful. It was absolutely wonderful. Either that, or they were saying, "We just don't want to see you wearing that anymore, Steve. Please try."
Oh goodness. Oh my goodness.
So, but it was fantastic, and
Yeah.
yeah, and everyone's kit just gets so much better, so much better. So
No, I'm continuously touched by just what I hear about Empire. So yeah, I see my friend Jordana say, "Hey, Jordana, maybe you and me will go to Empire as well." That's
yeah,
Moss Badger in the chat.
ah, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. I mean, because I think because Momo and Azrai are going, they're in Dawn, aren't they? They're joining Dawn, I
Yes,
believe.
they're whatever they're doing, I'm doing.
Yeah,
Just sign me up. I will go to the ends of any. If I was, I would be their Sam anytime they needed a Sam. But they are my Sams. So I was like trying to think of like what they're my best friends. I'll go anywhere with them. There we go. Not done. I'm sorry, Renegade, but it's gonna be done. It's gonna be whatever
he's an
sweet
Imperial Orc.
Momo. Oh, I would see that my only complaint. I don't have any complaints. I've actually really love everything so far that I've seen about Empire. Um, I just I will be going with my friends, and so I'm kind of I've understood that if you're gonna go with your friends, maybe stay with them in the same nation, is kind of what's been told to me. I kind of wish I could be from another nation because I like other things, but the
You
moment
you
I saw
can
that that was part of the design, I lost it.
yeah, you can be in another nation and hang
Hmm.
out with them, but it's
Hmm.
basically when it comes down to the battles. So if your characters are fighting battles on different days, it
Hmm.
just means you couldn't go into battle with them. You'd have to go in with your nation.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so I mean there are plenty of other nations there. So I'm in Wintermark, Badger's in the Orcs, Tiny's in the League, Jamie's in Dawn as well. So yeah, there's loads of things that you can do. My
Yeah, because I
character,
would definitely would want to play with them, and be
yeah,
on the battlefield with them. So I know I once I heard that I was like, I know what game I'm playing now. I'm being done.
yeah, Arthurian knights essentially. That's very much their shtick, and lots of glory going on over there, and
Aw,
they're
that's so
very
fun.
no, yeah, Dawn's a bit boring. Um, so I started off in Urizen,
Hmm.
and then I left Urizen with Mac to go to the Navarre to be with his in-character family, and then left Navarre. I'm now in Wintermark, so I've been around a bit. So I've changed nation twice in character because they let you do it because they've said if you're not happy there, we want you to be happy. So you say I'm going to go after that nation, and then yeah, they'll let you facilitate it. So it was yeah, another win for PD there, really. But if there's yeah, I mean, when it comes down to Empire, if there's anything that we can do, like here to help any of you lot out,
Yeah, I think I have the kit for Dawn. I think I could do Dawn. I think I'd be happy there. I My heart will always be with the orcs though. I think I love a good orc time. Love the way that they throw down. If like you see an army of orcs coming your way, and it's just a whole other, it takes you to a different place.
oh yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but yeah,
everyone likes the orcs. They are very very
orcs are
good.
great. I don't know about your orcs, but I just love orcs in general.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. It's they are really really good. Um, so Andy has said regardless, his heart is always with Varushka. So that's like
Aw.
that's essentially The Witcher,
Mm-hmm.
but at the
Oh,
Empire.
that was the other. I think that was the other one I was thinking about because I have like a whole like kit of. I went to Witcher school
Mm.
and I have like a whole costume of that and a character that her story never got to play out there. I didn't have a good time there, and so I kind of just like didn't get to finish out the story. So I always wanted to, but I don't know. I think I will end up in Dawn just because I think it's the
Yeah.
easiest, and I'm not sure. I think it's a good place to start my story.
Oh yeah, definitely,
Like and then see where I go.
definitely. Bolam.
See who recruits me.
Well, Bolam was at the Witcher school. He went there as well, and he's just said
Mm.
it was a good costume, so he saw you.
Oh my goodness, very cool.
So,
Hey.
but yeah, I mean, there'll be. I mean, the thing is that you don't have to get recruited by nations or groups or anything like
Mhm.
that. So your character can know anyone across the whole empire.
Mhm.
So, so yeah, your character could know my character for whatever reason across. So that gives the excuse of going along and saying hi. So it gives you an excuse to leave Dawn and go to come over to Wintermark.
Mhm.
You could know Badger in the Orcs for some reason and go over to the Orcs and say hi, and that so it gives you an excuse to travel as well.
Makes
So
sense. Yeah.
hashtag moving to England. Yes, yes, Mark. But yeah, I mean, so there's loads of
So
things
much
there.
opportunity for role play. Yeah. I'm very excited. I think it's gonna be it'll be a good time. I don't know when it's happening though. Like we're talking about it, like we're planning my character, but I
Mm.
don't know when we'll be there.
We
Definitely.
we do tend to get quite involved when it comes to Empire, and
Yeah.
you talk characters and stuff like that.
It's
It,
very exciting. I know the feeling. I'm in that brain space right now for Starfall because for me I'm a facilitator at Starfall Academy. So
mm,
right now this evening we have like a quest staff meeting and we're going to
okay,
go through all of our plot lines and
yeah,
so that's like everything on my brain right now is reading through the character histories of all the players. There's like 200 players to go through, and we're just I don't know. I'm so excited. I really love facilitating. I've got a bit of a bug for it.
Yeah.
I used to play a lot, and now I like to see the how the experience changes people, you know?
Mm.
So I'm more on the facilitator side. And oh my
Yeah.
goodness. The people at Starfall are really just
So
warm
Tiny's
in my
just
heart.
asked what Starfall is.
Yeah, so Starfall is a LARP happening this June. Starfall Academy. It's a Crystal Saber Guardian Academy. So very similar to Star Wars, but within our own lore and mythos and everything. It's going to be really cool. I'll be playing one of the Crystal Guardian Saber Masters, along with some of my friends and some of the other staff members, and we'll be teaching new Guardians how to wield their sabers, how to connect with the light. And it's in a really beautiful space where, like on a campus that has like big open skies and big fields, and I'm really excited about it. So,
Yeah, that sounds really good. Have
yeah.
you seen the Star Wars hotel that's opened up at Disney?
Oh my goodness. I know about it. Very much saving my pennies to go one day.
Mm.
But I have been keeping off of like the TikToks and like the videos about the experience because I really do want to go and immerse myself in it. Things are very often not a surprise for me and very much spoiled for me. So this is the one thing I'm trying to like preserve.
Yeah.
But I will say there's someone who's working there. Their name is Caro, and I got to work with them before they went off to go help run this LARP Star Wars experience at Disney,
Yeah.
and at Gray Manor. So it's really wild. The LARP community is so small. I just have to like not so small, but like the world is so small and we are so big, and I keep finding all of these connections. Even just to hear that somebody in the chat went to Witcher School. You know, it's so
Yeah,
wild.
Bowling.
Like we have so like this world is so separated, so many things going on in it, but we still seem to find each other. I think it's so cool.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, I've met so many wonderful people
Mm-hmm.
doing this hobby, and I mean,
It
only a couple of them I want to return to the shop. So
yeah.
looking at you there, Tony. They've been in chat. They were talking about me throwing him earlier. So it's quite small. Yeah, you yeet him.
Eat
Um,
'em.
yeah, you don't toss a dwarf. Um, so but yeah, you meet some incredible people and that. So um,
It's wild. I think we talked about it a little bit earlier, but just like, you know, LARP ends up becoming like another found family. You know,
mm,
it's another
very
like you
much
see
so.
these people routinely, you volunteer to see them, it's not work, you know, like you share experiences with them, and so many people you share like we LARPers, we share our tankards, our meals, our storytelling. I've been going on this deep dive recently talking about how LARP sometimes is a language of love for me.
Mm,
And I don't know if that resonates for you, but like when my friends are coming to a LARP, like a whole other like serotonin thing starts to kick in, and I'm like creating things for them, and like um just all of my love languages actually start to kick in once a friend is involved with the LARP or a family member, you know. So I
yeah.
ah, it's such a wonderful thing.
Oh, definitely.
Little LARP.
Thanks for subbing, Bolan. Hypothetically, how much to have Mac toss Tiny? Not much.
I want to see it though. You gotta put it on camera.
Well,
I
this
want
is
to see it
the
happen.
I would love to film at Empire. I was given permission by the owner, by the man who runs it all, to film on the Thursday before it started.
Oh,
But
that's nice.
so we did an extreme makeover. So me and Matt Kaz from the Orc Planet, we did. We had £200 each, and both of us had a brand new player who had nothing, and we took them out to all the traders and we spent £200 on them, and then came back to see who had the best kit. So that's all I'm going to say because I'm editing that at the moment.
Oh, that is
Um,
so cool.
but yeah,
That's so fun.
but Profound Decisions have a big rule of there's no filming in the field,
Hmm.
and you're not allowed to if you do any filming, it's in a tent or you're filming at the side of a tent, so you can't see other people.
Hmm.
Excuse me. So
Yeah,
I was very, very lucky to be able
that's so nice.
to do all that, and it was that this was a traumatic experience. Yeah, because I threw a hat at you, basically. But yeah, I would say. I mean, I love to do these sorts of things, and I don't know you're probably in the same position as me that you'll have you've got a long list of all these video ideas that you want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I do.
there are
I
too
have
many.
them. I have the ones that I want to do, and I have the ones that I feel like are needed, and then there's the ones that are asked.
Mm.
Oh, and I think like really early on in my YouTube career, I made videos based on like what people were asking for, and that would really helped gain my reach. But it just, I can't. It has to come from a genuine, authentic place for me,
Yeah.
and or else I don't want to make it. And so now I make content that I really love, which is like I was telling you about earlier, just filming um, LARPers and in the environment, participating, and then turning that into something that they can really look back on.
Yeah.
And I've decided that movies are like the medium I want to try and make this content into because I think for so many, a movie is like mainstream. The
Mm.
storytelling that you put into like the rise and the fall is really easy to kind of fall into. And who wouldn't want to look at themselves starring in a movie when they're actually LARPing? Like so. I hope that one
Yeah.
day I'm able to like. Maybe one day I'll get a whole film crew and a whole production, and I'll be able to film LARPs and turn them into just like a whole movies. So that's
Well,
kind of what I'm about.
funnily you mentioned that. I've been given permission to film the new Empire trailer, so I've got a proper
Oh,
film crew and
wow.
everything for that.
That's so cool. Wow. That's gonna
Um,
be fun.
so I've got all that written out. It's just a case of timings now. Hi Dawn. Um, and then I've got there was a computer game that was made. It was like a medieval Grand Theft Auto style game, and they filmed an advert for that down at an old medieval um, village, and
Hmm.
yeah, so I'm in that advert. I'm in that trailer as well
So cool.
as a I can't think. My mind's gone to pot. It's
You're gonna
completely
have to
blank now.
drop the links later. Like, I'm gonna come back into the Discord and look for the links for these videos because I want to see them.
So yeah, I mean, I can check you the link up for the trailer anyway. But
Hmm.
yeah, I was a body collector. I was essentially I was like a grave digger. So I had this
Hmm.
massive cart that I was just walking around and stuff. It was good fun, very very silly, but good fun. One LARP play I recommend everyone recommend exploring is to ask yourself, how does this look to the audience at home? How do they feel? Is it exciting? Is it shocking?
Yeah.
Radically shook up my game. Hmm. Yeah, the Rustler trailer was good. It was good. But yeah, so that's been pretty much that's been my film career. Not like
Yeah.
yourself. Uh, I
I've been.
saw your IMDb. It flashed up when I
Oh
was
no,
looking for the
no,
photo
no,
of
no.
you. It's like,
I've just well, I've been a part of a few projects that were like independent films, as well as like I was in Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, and let me tell you, LARP got me that gig.
hmm,
It was like it was like I've only been an extra, so don't think that I've done anything too much. But I in those experiences, I soaked up the whole industry,
yeah,
like speaking to people behind the cameras. Like that's what I wanted to learn, so I could take that with me. But with the Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, I got to go to the Sundance Film Festival and see myself up on like the big screen, and it was like the best moment of my life. It was like literally on screen for 3 seconds, but I cried. I was so happy. I submitted my headshots. I didn't have headshots. I just had my LARP photos. And so I sent them my LARP photos, and they loved them so much that they had me come and be a featured extra. And I got to wear my chainmail and my armor and
nice.
all of my stuff on set. And it was really, really cool. That experience was amazing. My big takeaway from that was I got to meet the carpenter who created the set for Ender's Game, and I got to learn about just like his like just looking at the tools that he had on his kit, like for running around creating stuff on set was
Mm.
just I soak up a lot of information. Like I'm a visual person, so I was just so taken away by that. And then yeah, anyway, but I really just I loved working in the movie industry for a short while. I'm trying to I don't know, I like doing this 48-hour film projects. I don't know if you've ever heard about that, but like film crews
Yes.
get together and then they like create like random stories. I love it.
Yeah, I watch Red Letter Media,
Yes,
um,
very cool.
and I know that that's like a little side thing for them. They do a lot of those, and they jump in and they get involved in those sorts of little projects and that because they're all filmmakers at heart. So
Hmm.
um, yeah, Dawn says I love Connie Britton. I don't know who I don't know who
Connie
Connie
Britton.
Britton is.
I Let me just look up Connie Britton because that name sounds familiar. Oh, Connie Britton. I know Connie Britton from Nashville, the TV show. What else was she in? Was she also in Ender's Game? I think that's where.
I have no idea. Ender's Game as a film was an absolute monstrosity in my
Yeah.
eyes. It was awful.
But that set was really
Oh,
good.
visually it was great, but it was a
No,
terrible,
Connie
terrible
was.
film.
I think Connie was actually. I don't even know who was in. Um, I want to say her credit isn't in here, but I thought she may have been in a movie I had been in. But that doesn't matter. I never met her. I never met
Oh,
her
she
though.
was
So
in
it doesn't
Me,
matter.
Earl, and the Dying Girl.
Yeah, I was like, I think I remember her. So I was like, after that, I was like, she's in it, but I was never on the same set with her. I only got to share the set with like the main cast, which were really cool.
Mm.
The kids. I was one of the high schoolers on set. So,
Awesome.
but yeah, I remember seeing her in Nashville. That was a fun show.
She's done a few things. Excellent singer.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
And that,
means nothing. Nothing to me. I'm afraid I'm more of a. Um, I mean, the one I was excited for was Ash versus the Evil Dead. So I'm a big Sam Raimi
oh
fan.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, love those sorts of films because well, they just don't take themselves seriously. So Bruce Campbell is
Okay.
he's a big hero.
Well,
Um,
okay, so I'm seeing a theme here. So I'm seeing like aliens, and then your character is kind of like Empire is kind of I don't know how to describe them.
Insane. That's fine.
Insane, okay. So what kind of I get the sense from you that you're a very like kind, play to uplift kind of person. You're willing to like help out your community. What kind of like storytelling are you interested in? Like when you're playing a LARP character,
Mm.
what kind of goals do you typically have, and what kind of methods do you apply to your play?
Um,
Or like like your favorites, like where do you find yourself falling into?
I tend to find myself getting involved in things that I know will drag other people into it as well.
Hmm.
So I find that at the moment I'm doing a lot of stuff that's involved with like eternal. So there's like higher beings and all powerful and
Hmm.
stuff, and it's doing things that are getting a lot of people involved in that as well. So I'm not really. I've never been one for plot where people it's just me
Hmm.
because I find that quite boring.
Hmm.
So I've always enjoyed stuff where it's other people around, and my stories are never about should in my. I prefer it when my stories are other people's plot, but I've
Oh.
experienced something through them
Hmm.
essentially. Um, that's something I really enjoy being sort of like behind things, the mischief maker behind other people's goals and stuff. So
Totally feel that. Yeah.
yeah, so at the moment I'm very interested. My game is a lot of stuff is about people running for the throne at Empire, and I'm doing things around that. So not directly involved, but sort of behind the scenes, and that's yeah, that's the sort of thing I quite
Hmm.
enjoy. So and it's as long as everyone's having a laugh, I don't. Yeah, that's all that matters. When people are stopping having fun, then that's when it becomes a problem, and then think something needs to change.
Hmm.
So it's the same with battles and stuff like that. Battles are there to have fun and enjoy yourself with. So I don't walk. So like all the generals know that they can't come over and give me orders because I'll just ignore them
Hmm.
and do my own thing. So
Cool.
so there's that's my sort of enjoyment
Yeah,
from
that's right. Do you
everything.
think that how many people do you think you know at Empire? Like how many players are there? And then how many people do you think you know um by name
So the
or role play name or like have connection with?
last event we had about 3,200 there, so 3,200 players.
Yeah.
Um, I character names over 100. Over a
So cool.
hundred, yeah. I can walk around and say hi to a lot of players. Probs
Hmm.
knows 3,000. No, I'm definitely over 100. I could walk around and name a lot of people.
That's so cool. When I imagine that, I really do imagine just like each character, their story, your story with them. That's so, so beautiful. It's been a while for me to be have been in a LARP space where it's reoccurring. Most of the
Mm,
LARPs that I attend in the past few years have been one shots. So um, the people that I see, they're new characters that are friends, you know. But I do know that that heart feeling of like uh, it's almost nostalgia. You know, it's not
yeah,
too long, you know. It's only been so many months, but when you run into somebody that you share like stories with, you know, and that you've fought with them along many battles, and that's really, really cool. Very
yeah,
cool.
yeah. I do love it. I do love it a lot. Um, yeah, I mean, what else can you say? Really, it's
Yeah.
you. I think just the way that we're talking just there shows why LARP is such a great hobby because it's the passion, the love's there, and yeah, it's just such a great thing to do.
Yeah.
Um, I am going to have to bring a stream to an end though, because
No, no, we were just
I
I feel like we
know
were getting into the warm spot, you know?
it's so. I normally stream for an hour, just about an
Hmm.
hour and a quarter. So we've been going for nearly two.
Well,
This is a
I've been
normal
having a
thing.
blast.
This
Thank
is a
you.
normal thing. So I did a review with Digby, and we are getting a part two of that one because we were in the same sort of thing. We could keep on going on and on and on. Um, been looking for most of the stream, and I've really enjoyed the conversation, Kaza and Steve. Thank you very much. Thank you very
Thanks,
much, Jay.
James.
Ah, the Coolian. Yes, yes,
The
the
Coolian.
legendary filmmaker, I do believe. Behind the laughs, an absolute, the man, the myth, the legend. That is the Coolian.
The Coolian. Very
So
cool.
yes, but we'll have to do that. We'll have to do a part two.
Anytime, anytime. I've got the lots of free time. I've got lots of LARP to talk about. Anytime that you want to chat, I'm here for you.
Definitely, definitely. I think yeah, we'll get a part two going because yeah, it was.
We just scratched the
I was gonna
surface
say
of
we were
these warm
just getting
feels.
into it, but it's always the way. It's always the way. My streams, the last half hour of my streams are always the best bits. So, but anyway, you have a staff meeting as well this evening. Let's not
I
forget
do, and
this.
I gotta get to cooking dinner and then a staff meeting. A very
I've
busy
already
day.
had dinner. It's nearly 10 o'clock in the evening for me. So,
Wait a minute. We went through this whole stream and you didn't tell me what you had for dinner?
what did I have for dinner? I I
My
had
little hobbit brain
I
must
had
know.
a Cajun pasta. It
Yum.
was
Oh.
yeah. Trying I'm trying to lose weight, so
Mm-hmm. That sounds so
so who
delicious.
are we gonna raid? I don't know if anyone I follow
Um,
is streaming. I mean,
I
it's always nice not to raid as well. You know, that's a thing too. It's
I've got a friend that's on right now. I'll send it to you if you don't mind. Is that okay?
Just let me know who it is, and
Yeah,
I'll.
extend the love. I'm gonna send it to you on Discord that way. If you're like, no, I don't know why you would. That's their name. And they're playing Days Gone.
Ah, yeah, Days Gone was a game that I looked at. I must admit.
It looks super sick. It gives all of the dystopian LARP vibes that I got to play out. It has all of that in it, and so I am quite tempted to possibly get this game. I don't do too well with zombie horror things. Zombies are
Hmm.
scary, you know. But but it looks really good. I love this. I love survival
Okay,
storytelling.
right. So I've just followed. Then so just stared at my
Oh,
name
thank
blankly.
you.
Looks like the cat is standing on her
I
back
saw
there.
that. I saw that too. Oh, there is a little kitten sitting on her back.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my goodness.
everyone in chat, you're going to get to go and see this. You're going to get to see the little kitten. So, adorable Corey, we're going to go and raid. Go
So much.
sp- spread the love. Be as wholesome as you can possibly be. And yeah, I need the practice of not cutting myself off. So every time I raid, I cut myself off as I do it. So I'm still learning that. Um, so apparently, it's as soon as I click raid, then that's it. I'm cut off. So
I don't know how Twitch works. We're still learning here.
I don't think Twitch knows how Twitch works. So
Yeah.
I'll say goodbye now to everybody, and then we'll start the raid, and then you can get that. So okay, everyone, look after yourselves. Stay safe. It's a shit world out there at the moment, but look after each other. All right. Much love to you all, and uh, back on Friday. So with another new player one. So that'll be good. Right, let's go do a raid thing. And
Woo.
yeah, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I don't know if anyone can still see me or hear me in chat, but you know, this is the test. Boom, raid now.
Just politely ask.
My